The negative effect of music in our society. What can members of the diaspora do to stop crime in our country? What is the next move for call to action? To give us the update and to dissect the things that I just mentioned, that would be the topic for tonight. Is no other than that, Dr. Rupert Francis is here with me this evening to just chat a little bit about all that we talk about. Ugly man.
Hey, pretty guy.
Well,
Well, I'm okay, thank God. I'm fine, hanging in there.
oh, great, great,
Busy.
great, great. Um, I was a week. Everything went fine.
I can't complain. It's hectic as usual, but
Yeah.
it's going fine. We're here. I understand that Bank of America has some serious issues. Tried to get in there today, and all their accounts are almost like frozen, my friend.
Well, a friend of mine called me and he was telling me about it
Yeah.
too,
Mhm.
and so I suddenly went to my account and looked in there, and what I saw it was more like some dots, like
Yes,
some
that's
dots,
yes. That's all right.
and that's when I said, you know what, I'm not even gonna fussy about this anymore because I know nothing happened. It's just a matter of some error. If I had seen zero, if I had seen some zeros, no, I would have worried myself. But
Well. What do you think the dashes mean for it, brother?
it just indicated that there's some error. I don't think that means anything besides.
My view is that that is I will not, after this experience, I'll make
Mhm.
sure I do not have all my eggs in one basket, and I'm going to take care of that before the end of the week. It's as simple as that. I've been with them.
Well,
I've been with them for 26 years, and I don't think I would like to do that for another 26.
well, the truth is, I don't have my eggs in one basket, so probably that's why I wasn't that worried.
Well, you
You
see,
know.
there you go. Now, if I had your money, then I could speak like you. Unfortunately, I don't. So, what can I
But
say?
look, remember, you're gonna split it up before the week is over. If you never have the money to split up, then how that sound. You're gonna split it up. That's what you said. You know.
You're using semantics on me, and I'm not going to allow you to do that to me tonight. Okay,
And
so
just keeping it real. Just
no,
keeping it
no,
real.
we're not keeping it real. You see, the thing is this, that I'm very happy. Let me put it this way. I am not. Was concerned when I went into my my private account, but
Hmm.
when it went to the 501c, the money was there. Whatever,
Okay.
you know. So in terms of what we're doing for other areas and other people, and
Mhm.
we are together. So that's what I was happy about. So uh,
Great. No, well, that's good. But Dr. Francis, I must say again, thank you for sitting with me this evening and discuss some of the issues of our concern.
mhm.
Um, I think I want to start with a few things. With this thing, the music is one of our, my concern, and I think certain type of music is very destructive to our society. And the reason why I'm talking about this, Dr. Francis, I know that you want to change certain image. You want to be more positive, and you want to have a positive impact on our society. So I think we're gonna generalize most of the things that we talk about on this platform. We will also highlight the positive and of Jamaica, and if there's anything negative, we will highlight it as well. But the music is one of the things that I am very much concerned about, and I have a clip too that I might play later on, where Peacher was talking about the music and its effect. But don't you think, Dr. Francis, our society is going under for many reasons, but the music had played its role.
Let me say this to you. I was lucky enough to grow up in a time when the music was absolutely gorgeous, wonderful. Whether the music was coming from the United States, Germany, England, anywhere, and especially Jamaica, man, it was something else. It was about
Uh-huh.
love. It was about caring for people. It was during the time of the Martin Luther King era, and so there were just a lot of songs that were talking about unity and that sort of thing.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
so to me, it was our nation was just happy. We had Mento, we had the starting of reggae. Bob Marley was in its infancy, for example, in those days, and it was just good, sweet music. Like for example, Harry Belafonte's "Island in the Sun." This is my island in the sun, where my people have lived since time begun. Right? Though I may
Mhm.
sail on many seas, these shores will always be home to me. So I came out of that era almost like a renaissance of music and so on. And I want people to understand that I think that's what shaped us. We had Mento, I was on the North Coast, we had visitors from all over the world, and they came for the music, they came for the relaxation, the beaches, and the people. I mean, come on. We had some wonderful people. Of course, we had a couple of homeless people. Maybe one. His name is Robert. I remember in Ocherius, and
Mhm.
but he was not violent. He was not the guy. The children used to mess with him and so on. But Robert was not. And I remember I never entertained. I never did that to him. And he just passed me and he nod and smile. I'll never forget that. So even in the worst case scenario, right? And there were things that happened throughout the country. I won't mention some
Mhm.
of them. If some people are old enough, they'll remember that happened, and that shocked me. In fact, I remember the first killing that I heard about was a guy from Thaddeus Hyatt, and he killed 13 children, 13 people. And I
Mhm.
hid under my bed. I hid under my bed until he was executed.
Oh, God. Wow,
No,
wow.
that had a tremendous impact on me, not because of but the fact I was so afraid that
Mhm.
he would come there. And I later learned that my family, that the family that was killed was basically members of my extended family. I didn't even
Wow.
know. Okay, nobody. I don't. You go look in the papers, you'll see it. So what am I
Right.
saying here? There was this, but we were not engaged in it. We were more of a happy go lucky side of people, willing to do anything for anybody in the village, outside the village. It was a great time. Okay. So what happened over the years? You're talking about music and Jamaica. We have gone a long way, and the music has gone a long way. I myself was a music producer at one stage, but the situation is that now the music has gotten to a point where music is good, but some of the music is taking our young people into a dark place.
And that's what I'm thinking, Dr. Francis, because I was watching last night in my family room. I gathered with a few family members coming up from out of town and stuff. I were there, playing a few. Well, the selection was some reggae music, and so it switched to some. I don't know what genre that is. I don't know how to categorize it, but it was some Jamaican music, and it was some strong, violent tone, and this display a fierce firearm throughout the music video. And I'm thinking to myself, Dr. Francis, that now, how do you advertise product? Is by putting it all over the TV and radio, right? That's how I know product is being advertised, and they get sell people purchase from that. And I think the music playing in all these social media space through the radio and all over the globe, I think to me that's a promotion of crime and violence, and so our society become uh, 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 is impacted by that. You talk to most of these young boy nowadays, it's just violence on their mind. And I think the music has helped to promote it. A lot of people don't share my sentiment, but
You know,
that's how I view it.
Dennis, you're quite correct. But let me say, good evening to all the people listening. Good evening to everybody. Good evening. I apologize for not saying that earlier when I came in because I just wanted to jump in. And I want to thank you all for please like, share, and subscribe to Dennis's channel because it's informative and it is going to speak to our own evolution as a people and where we want to go, our children to go. So, in regards to what he's talking about in terms of the music, we must agree that the music is sweet, but there
Yeah.
are people who take the music literally.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
those
Mm-hmm.
persons who engage with the music literally are mostly young people, right? We have heard young women, for example, express, what they would do, the things that they were willing to do and do. And we're seeing it even exposed on the stage where these people are. So the question we have to ask ourselves is this. We cannot demonize music because music is music, but at the same time, do you know that in certain countries you cannot play certain music that has a violent edge to it? Right?
Mm.
You can't. In England, for example, you cannot play it on the radio. You can't. And the question, some people are going to say, well, that's not fair. Well, the fact of the matter is, what is fair? How do we look at it? How do we want our children to be exposed to these things? Is it violent or is it not? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. Where do we want our country to go? All right. And I think that that's the big question. That's $1 million question.
And that's what I'm saying. I think the music had been driving our society big time, Dr. Francis. And so I think there should be some form of filtration system in what we release, what we play, and the ear, what we play in these taxis and minibus across the island. Because remember, crime is one of our biggest monster in our society. But how can we? I know there are many contributing factors to crime, but one of it is the promotion of music. So how can we say we're fighting crime and trying to prevent crime, but yet still we allow these type of music to be played in the taxis, in the minibus, and all over the various platform that they played on for these kids to be
Whereas
exposed.
whereas I agree with you in terms of whereas I agree with you in terms of the whole business of where we are in the situation. We should not blame the music, and we should not be so. I just want to just take a slight break here for a moment and come right back to you, please, if you don't mind.
No problem. You know what? I'm gonna be playing a video in the meantime. Let me just play
Father,
this video.
speak your word to our hearts even now, and may your name among us be glorified. We pray in the name of Jesus our Lord. Amen. You know, Shaggy, one of my favorite things to do is to listen to music. There's something about music that just soothes the soul. And I love a number of genres. I love jazz and blues. I love rock steady sly. I love reggae. And some of my favorite artists are the Bee Gees. I love Earth, Wind, and Fire. Huh? Yeah. I really love Sade as well. I love the crooning of Beresford Hammond and Taurus Riley. I love the artistic flavor of a Chevelle Franklin and a Shaggy. And I love the musical genius of a protege. Music is such a wonderful piece of art. And it's absolutely amazing how musicians can take individual notes from individual instruments and create a synergistic masterpiece which lifts the soul to a different plane. Music is powerful. Dean, music impacts life. It impacts our minds. It impacts our mood. The way we respond to music has a lot to do with the intention of the composer. May I say today that God is the original musician. All music came from God. And all music ought to be used to honor God. And today, as we celebrate the life and the contribution of
Dr. Francis, I don't know if you heard the description
Yes,
and the impact of music. Let me just respond to Dana Wilson. Yeah, Dana, we sent down a trick for Donovan yesterday, our 2 tricks, but they're still not good enough. So not long enough. So there was one that a doctor was trying to obtain. Supposed to reach there. It's gonna cost $100 and something, almost $200 US. So we're gonna get that to him before the week is over. We still are very poor on the donation because we want to like clean up his room, we want to change the bed and the mattress and stuff like that. That's our objective. But we're working on Donovan. Dr. Francis is a cancer patient, throat cancer patient that I've been working with for the past almost 3 weeks. Been trying to get some help for him. Procedures to get done and stuff like that. So we're able to earn a few dollars to meet some of his medical demand, but it's not enough. So we've been working on it. But we're working on Donovan.
Let me say this to you that I must salute you for that, because I too have a Donovan who served with me in the military, and he has some of those issues going. I will give you the name of somebody who has those things in stock. He's also a member of the crime task force. I won't give his name on the public here, but I'll give it to you afterwards, and you can call him, and I'm positive that he has whatever length you would want or what have you. He will tell you a bit more about him, and maybe you'll get him on one of them. But I want to encourage everyone to assist. I mean, we're doing something for Lieutenant Stitchy right now, and his situation, his dire situation. And we're also doing something for a number of persons. We just sent things in where burial had its most significant impact on the older population. So we want to encourage you, Dennis, and what you have done to assist Donovan, and we encourage everyone who's listening to please help, because we do. And you know something, I want to say this, that we do not do this with any fanfare. We're not trying to get any kudos from this. We're doing it because we believe it, like the preacher said, it's God's work. As he mentioned, let's go back to the music if you don't mind. The music comes from, music is the food of life, love, everything you can do. That's what music is. And Shakespeare himself said it, and many other persons, of course, have said it. We've seen, Shaggy, for example, you mentioned him. I mean, he was mentioned in the guy's speech. Really good music, It wasn't me. How can anybody forget that, for example? And it was said in such a way that although it had its innotations, that's a good music. It did not describe it so that you could laugh at it because you know what he was talking about.
What he was alluding to, but it was not described in an explicit way.
Way. Yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, this is where we are here in the whole situation. So what we're saying to you is this: while we're doing what we're doing, we must understand that it is our children who are the most vulnerable.
Yes, sir.
The most vulnerable in society. And
Yes,
we're
sir.
not there knocking anybody, knocking in the government. There's no politics involved. We are
No.
just simply saying, we're talking, why is it some of our people and our young people in particular are violent? And if you are a student of criminology, or even if you're not, just a parent, right? You can see what is happening in the society today, right? That we have to find a way to get our children refocused. We no longer, everybody wants to, for example, even if the baddest man in Jamaica or baddest man in the world, when you die, you want to be in a church. Well, what your life, I don't understand. You have people who don't live the life, but they
Mhm.
want to be sent home in a particular way. But what is even worse? You have 21-year-olds, 25-year-olds who are buying their funeral packages before because they don't expect to reach 25. Ladies
Wow.
and gentlemen, it must be something fundamentally wrong with that. We have a country right now who they're telling me that, oh, they want to import labor. When we have very intelligent young people, umpteens of them, why don't we
Mhm.
train these people? Why don't we train them to take over? In whatever sphere it is, the hotel industry, right? The engineering industry, right? The telecommunications, anything at all. Because we have very, okay. If it were not so, why then do we have so many Jamaicans or people of Jamaican extra in the diaspora?
Right.
I went somewhere yesterday and I was buying a coconut, right? And I was
Mhm.
buying a coconut and in this place, a jelly coconut. And the jelly coconut was a whopping $5. I mean, that's not bad, whatever. And
Mhm.
anyway, the people are extolling. They're right near to a restaurant. I'm not going to say which one it is, and they're extolling about the virtues of Kentucky Fried Chicken in Jamaica,
Mm.
and they're saying that some you cannot get into the Kentucky Fried Chicken. No, no, we have a
No.
problem. I think I'm hoping that most of the chickens are being bought from Jamaica through Best Dressed Chicken or whatever, but I don't think so. I think a lot of it is being imported too. Okay, and we have a superior. So my view is we need to concentrate on things that we produce, right? Just like the music and everything else, and make sure that our children have a way forward, right? They talk other things too, and I just don't want to be an eavesdropper. But what you can get for Kentucky Fried Chicken nowadays, you'll be surprised if you promise
Mhm.
somebody a Kentucky Fried Chicken. So I'm saying to you that um, we have to be careful with our language. We have to be
Yeah.
careful about our music, and we have to be careful how we expose our children. Are they at school, for example, saying the national pledge anymore? Are they doing
Those
that?
are those are some of the things, Dr. Francis, that I've been working on. I liked a school, Kendall Primary, that would have had the national pledge and our anthem on the walls at the school. I highlighted. Most people don't pay attention to those things, and I'm saddened by that because those are where the substance really lies. Where our directive, a lot of our directives, the substance of our directives are in those anthems and our motto and our pledge, and but we are not guided by that anymore, and I think that is also a contributing factor to the breakdown in our society. But
You're
that
to-
is for a whole different show. But
no, no,
that's
no.
true.
I wouldn't even say it is for a whole different. Let me just explain something to you. Why what you said was so significant. And I hope that the listeners will understand. We have always gotten grown up with church, whatever church is. Okay? Very few people run around and say, I'm a Obia man, I'm a this, I'm a that, or advertise it. But they advertise church and the
Hmm.
significance of church for certain holidays, for certain birthdays, whatever it is. Okay?
Hmm.
But right now, I think that our society has strayed away from church and church doctrine. And I'm not saying you must be a Christian, okay? I am saying that there are certain values, right?
Yeah.
That thou shalt not kill, for example. Honor your mother and your father, and your days will be long on this land. Okay? Love
I
thy neighbor.
remember.
You know what I mean? These are things.
Sorry to cut you.
Yes,
Sorry
go
to
ahead.
cut you, but I remember when those things were repeated to me as a child, and how it would have impacted me and even drive certain fear in me. You know what I'm saying? Which subsequently lead to me being here today because I was careful of the things I do, how I do it, because of the possible consequence that was taught to me. But nowadays, people don't pay attention to those things.
And that is sad. Let me say this here. By the way, can the audience give feedback by sending questions and so on? I have not seen one on the screen. I don't know if that's possible. You know?
It happened. I haven't seen anybody asking any question tonight.
Oh, well, yeah,
But,
or making a statement. I don't have a problem with that. If you think we're wrong, people in the audience, if you think we're wrong, if you think that we're on the wrong track, if you think that we're outdated, I'd love to hear.
I
Okay?
would love to have an interactive conversation and topic of the music or the positive or negative impact of it, and our the breakdown in our society, the absence of the real substance that you and I, Dr. Francis, was raised on. No, it no longer exists because we remember we were brought to church by our parents. Now it's grandparents that is taking our kids to church. And most time they disappear them, and a lot of time they're not even living with the grandparents, or the grandparents are not even around. There are just so many things that is breaking down. And what I like about the church, I am not promoting no Christianity or no religion. It was the substance in it that would have helped to guide us positively. That's the thing that I was really
And,
concerned
and,
about.
and I credit you for that. I credit you for that because a lady came on, I don't know, and I should have sent, I don't ever sent you the clip. A lady came on about 2 weeks ago or a week ago when you're in Jamaica.
Mhm.
And she was talking about her son that she had just lost. And if there's
Mhm.
anyone out there who has it, please send it to him. I can't find it right now. But she lost her son to a gun butt. And the lady said these words. She said, all I want out there, I know say uno picnic out there, I do wrong. All I want to know say the picnic are thief. All I
Mhm.
want to know say them are kill people. Make sure to get a hold of them and make the government come take them rather than to pick them dead like my one dead.
Mm-mm.
She said that. And you're going to tell me that I don't know how many bloggers and what have you out there, people out there who have in fact, right? Who have in fact taken this seriously. Can you imagine? She talking
And
about her own. She said she'd have rather the government had taken him or her in, right? Because the fact of the matter is the child is now dead and the child is not even reached 20 yet. And look at those persons, those ones that were killed in I think it was Negril, who were holding up whatever they were doing. I don't not sure what it was, right? They or 4 or 5 of them was killed out of the 7, right? They had high power refer and they're killed like pigs and dogs, right?
wow,
And they were there on and apparently many of the people knew them. And you
wow,
know them because when they steal or what have you, they spend the money widely and it's all gone. So they have to do it all over again. And though many of them were very dark people, they looked almost white the way they were bleaching themselves. And they're always wearing their pants down, way down. I mean, I'm saying to you, they don't even know the genesis, the origin of these things. So what is happening? As the internet we're talking about AI and all that, has this taken over our country? I mean, are we going to own our country anymore?
I don't know, but
That's it.
that is so much of a concern. But on the same note, let me just answer this question, Dr. Francis. As a people, as a people, Jamaicans, especially members of the diaspora, in your opinion, Dr. Francis, how could we have a positive impact and our society? How can we make changes without jumping in a political vehicle? I say that because I would want to be very much neutral in the things that I do. For example, Donovan, that the lady had asked about. Donovan, I don't care if Donovan, what side of the fence Donovan is on. I am dedicated to help him. When I went to Jamaica and give away those 450 backpacks and school supplies the other day, I did not care who was, what political side of those people were on, no matter what, no matter who. I just give, and it felt so good. And so, Dr. Francis, I want to continue on that path to in my small space to have a positive impact on our society without taking a political side.
Politics
To you, the
has
question.
no place. Politics
The
has
question,
no
the
place.
question. Let me answer the question so that you can answer it and so that it is clear. How can members of the diaspora have a positive impact, help to change the image of our society without be political about it?
Um, Dennis, let me explain. I'm going to answer this the question because you're aware and the public is aware of the activities of the call to action group that was formed about a year ago.
We're gonna get to that question too, but you could go ahead.
But I want to answer it in this way because I want to share this with you. Regardless of what anybody says, that group, maybe some people had some political leanings, maybe I certainly didn't have any. And I know a lot of persons who did not have any political leaning. Okay.
Mhm.
And I want you to understand that even though you may have a political, you may have the same thought pattern as I do, that these things are necessary for the growth of a nation. You understand me? But I have never asked you who you voted for, Dennis, and I never will. It is not important. There's an election occurring right now in the United States. And very few people would come and ask me, well, I don't want, listen to me, that's my business. Who I want to vote for. If you want, it's important for you to vote. Okay?
I know.
You should not be showing your political stripes on things like these, especially with somebody like Donovan who needs the help. And it doesn't
No,
matter in the long run who is helping him and what side you belong to. Yes.
no. I was just using it as an example to describe my position and
Yeah.
how I would want to be moving forward. I just want to see my Jamaican people as people. Blessing Petra and Jiga. I just want to see my people as Jamaicans and see what I can do, especially being in the public space, having this platform, utilize it in a way that I could have a positive impact without taking a political side. It is very important that I outline that and even ask a question because both here in Jamaica, politics is in the atmosphere. In Jamaica now, there's a lot of mix up and going on politically where the one party is fighting for position, one is holding on and all of that. And so I noticed a lot of bloggers that's the side they would have taken and they would build from that. I want to take a separate and a different position, but have a big impact. And not just me, I'm saying there are many members of the diaspora that would want to do what I am doing. Well, how we could do it collectively, or could we make the change as a body, in your opinion? How could we have a positive impact as a
But
body,
then
members of
it's
the
seeming as
diaspora?
if it's in the past tense. We are making changes. We are making changes. The problem we have is that there are many Jamaicans sitting on their hinds and they're expecting change, but they're not expect to do anything about the change. And that's the problem. We have people out there who are not willing to make the sacrifice. You cannot stop a river from overflowing if you do not fix its banks. and we do not get complicity from everybody that's inside there. And we want things to happen, but we don't want to put out the effort. Right?
Mm.
We have to understand that people down there, people who are in our sites, people who are up in the diaspora everywhere, have to put their heads and hearts and hands together and work with the people in Jamaica and wherever to make sure that Jamaica is on the right track. No, there are some people who believe that we should we are in the we should not be encouraging the intervention of the diaspora because we do not live in the, they do not live there and blah, blah, blah. I can't understand that because as far as I'm concerned, you're a Jamaican here, you're a Jamaican there, whatever, and you should be able to contribute to your country and its movement forward, whether you're here or there. You understand? And
Yes,
and
sir.
you have to understand also the importance of any diaspora, right? Wherever you are, okay. Because let me say, in the long run, we don't deny Jamaica. We should stand in the same position we are for all people of Jamaica and extra, children, grandchildren, whatever. And that is what is more important. But talk to everybody. We are proud of Jamaica. We are proud of Jamaica when we go to the Olympics. Yes, the last one, some people were very upset at the outcome of but I wasn't. I think that there are times in the affairs of our people that we're going to win and some we're going to lose. It's our attitude that matters. It's what we do afterwards,
Mm-hmm.
right? That makes the difference, and that's what. And that you're here. You have a show, and you've dedicated more than one show and so on towards educating the people of in the diaspora to assist in doing what we're doing in Jamaica, and that's very important.
Yes, but Dr. Francis, what the thing that I don't like is that a lot of people would have come on and say a bunch of stuff and claim to be like mine and claim to be as passionate as I am. I mean, I had exposed my passion. Everybody see my passion. And so I put it out there. But there's so many people that just don't find it attractive. You know what I'm saying? So they
Why?
say,
Why?
but they
What?
actually, and that's what I'm trying to find out. Why is it people not grasping and supporting the change? If it is something of that have a mix up tone to it, that's where the whole of the hype would come from. That's where the whole of the excitement would come from. That's where the support would come from. And I want to make a difference, but I just don't want to be in that space. How can I do it without being in that space? How can other members do it without being in that space? How? We don't want to be political or mix up about what we're doing, but just make a difference.
But
Mhm.
listen to what I'm saying. You have to make a commitment. You have to make a commitment to say, regardless of what is happening out there, I am going to do the right thing for the country of Jamaica. There are some people I am convinced that do not want to see Jamaica survive. There's some people who don't want certain people to thrive in Jamaica, especially the poor. If you did, then you would do everything in your power to raise up the young people of Jamaica.
Mhm.
Look, our teachers are being employed everywhere. Our nurses are being employed. You look here, we have very good positions throughout the diaspora, and they work hard. Okay,
Mhm.
but if you do not give this same opportunity to the youngest amongst us, what's going to happen? Okay, if all they want to hear about scamming is great, this is great. I mean, stealing people's things is great. Come on, where are we going to be? We have to say to ourselves that these things we are going to get rid of corruption from the top to the bottom, from the bottom to the top, because we lead by example, and we just have to go out there. The churches of late just came out and said, "Look, we need some transparency here. It's about time."
But Dr. Francis, how could I execute that mission without appear as if I am supporting a political party, though?
because you do it and you like me, for example. I am been painted with the Jamaica Labour Party. Okay, I have been with them for many years. But to be quite honest, if you be honest, unless just what happened recently, we're not even go down into that. That's another subject. We are coming on and to explain that and what we're going to be doing in the next few weeks and so on.
I'm going to answer that question.
Yeah. But let me say this. The fact of the matter is, I had to sit back and say to myself, okay, where are we going as a nation? Where would I like to see the country go as a nation? I remember, somebody saw me once and said to me, "Why you always talking about crime, businessman, crime?" Because let me say something. Not only have I studied it, I've lived in it. I've known people who live in it, and I see what it can do to people at home and abroad. That's what I studied. So I'm saying to you, if I saw it and I can reveal it to my people, I know Moses or anything like that. That's not what it's all about. This is about telling the people what to do the right thing. Not only other people, but my own children and everybody to do the right thing. Have they all? Not necessarily. But them say who can hear will feel. Okay? And we have stopped doing that. We have stopped taking responsibility for our children. We'll let them go like Lego beasts, right? And it's not fair to them. I'm not fair. You know what I saw on the news tonight? A young man, 25, cut off his mother's head because he's on drugs, right? So let me tell you something. We're not far from that. So if people can continue turning a blind eye when they see a boy coming in with a whole of money and him not working, and him turn a blind, it's going to reach our girl, whatever. It's going to reach that stage. You have girls and boys going on stage, for example, and doing things that supposed to be done in bedrooms or in bush. You understand me? Right? But instead it's up there. How can we train? So listen, people are saying we're talking about Jamaica. It's not that. I'm saying to you, if your child, your grandchild, your friend's child did something like that, you would be appalled. So when you hear it, you gotta talk about it. You gotta train. You gotta keep it. I'm telling you, with the intelligence of our young people, they can do better, and they want to do better, and they deserve better. And and no politics not come into it. I don't care I don't care whether you're 70 Adventist, Jehovah Witness, or Mormon. I don't care. It's just a question that you must do the right thing.
I have to put my disclaimer out there, Dr. Francis, because like I said, my objective is to change, to bring forth changes. And I have to also be careful of what I do. Many people that are in this space, a lot of them don't visit Jamaica, and that's their right. A lot of them cannot visit Jamaica, and a lot of them probably don't even have any interest in having something in Jamaica. I am the total opposite of that, Dr. Francis. I must tell you, for this year, I've gone to Jamaica 10 times already, which you would have known. And I have our next trip coming up. I have to go visit Danapa, and I have things to do. I'm saying to you that I am making a difference. I'm making a difference. I am involved. I'm putting things together. I am doing what I need to do. And I'm just saying, guys, come on board, support where we are going. Well, with my organization, I am trying my best to see if I could change the narrative and be and have a positive impact. But the point that I'm making is that I have the right to be concerned. I have the right to talk, because me not just sit down and work and fold my hand and I look down in there. I am there. I'm there a lot. I'm there a lot. In the past 2 months, I've been there 3 times already, trying to make a difference, working and making a difference. And you would have known that, Dr. Francis. I am working and making a difference. I'm just seeking you all to support what I'm doing. And don't discriminate my action to say, who am I? I'm not supposed to talk, because I get texts and emails like those. I get comments like those. I am deeply rooted. I'm deeply involved, and I'm doing things to make a difference. All I'm asking you all for is for your support. And not only for your support, I would like you to take on the same path that I've taken on. Dr. Francis has been playing his role for many years. I can't even tell you how long that he is trying desperately to make a difference in his capacity as well. I'm doing the same. Get on board, try to make a difference because together we can rebuild or prepare ourselves for better, our kids for better Jamaica. But we can't hold a hand and depend upon the government and blame the government and fight the government and fight this and fight that because trust me, if we not do it, it's not gonna happen. Support what we're doing. Dr. Francis, I want to also ask
No,
a
no, no.
question. You want to elaborate on that first?
I'm
Go
gonna-
ahead.
May I
Go
just
ahead.
I see a lot of bloggers, I see a lot of people in Jamaica doing a lot of things, feeding the homeless, feeding the poor. They're doing a great job. There's some people they're not wealthy people, they're just bloggers and so on. And I really have to salute them. They're doing such a tremendous job. Can you imagine if all of us did the same thing? Can you imagine?
Okay.
There are there's so many things that they're doing and they're changing. And in these areas, let me tell you, the crime task force, which you see there, we are doing several things in Town all over the place. We just don't. We are going to start um, speaking about them. We create what is called the Jamaica Diaspora Foundation, which deals with being prepared for events like hurricanes, um, any disaster, that, for example, as earthquakes, storms, etc., and just whatever it is. And we have it. It's been going, and we're sending things out to Jamaica and so on and so forth. We don't make a song and dance of it, but and so people may say, "Who is he? Where is he coming from?" And so I've been doing this now for well over 10 years, or 15 years total. And although I left Jamaica, and my house was ransacked. Okay, so I could have hold that brief, and say, boy, I couldn't even get a job in my own country. And for those who are out there talking about, oh, you're trying to foolishness, just make them stop it because it is foolishness. All right, that I wanted position and all that. No way. Okay, I'm quite okay where I am. Unfortunately, unlike Dennis, I cannot go back to Jamaica now unless I take an army with me or arrange my army there, right? Because I've been, it is quite clear that it will be nice to put a shot in my head and cut off my head. I've had those messages and what have you, burned down my house, whatever have you. Yes. And for those of you who say, hey, it's not happening, come on, give me a break. This is something that has happened. And so we need to understand where Jamaica is. And we need to say, it's wrong. It's wrong. You don't agree with me, but you don't have to, to pursue. I'm not afraid of that sort of talk anyway, because talk is cheap. And certainly I'm a well-trained man. Many of you know where my roots are from. And so I'm not worried about these people at all. They should worry about me. Let's put it that way. So let me make it quite clear. I am saying to you that those of us who are not afraid, and there are many people in Jamaica not afraid of all of these people who are threatening and what have you. There are things that I could tell you how to resolve the conflicts and how to resolve these things. But I'm not giving away my information anymore for free. I mean, I'm not doing it because they're not listening. I've been telling them for years. And there's simple solutions. One of them, I tell you, is to treat the youths right. Treat the youth right. Okay? And that the Jimmy Cliff song. Go listen to
Uh,
it. Go ahead, Dennis. You're asking me a question.
yes, I'm gonna get to a question. My final question with you, but I want to address Miss Nisbet. That said, I am grateful for your assistance at Grosvenor Basic School, and I must say, yes, it is indeed a pleasure working with you. We still have some things to execute, Miss Nisbet. I wanted to get the estimate for that water tank and give it to me, or else I'm gonna have to come down and do it myself in terms of get somebody to do it. So I'm waiting to hear from you how much it's gonna cost to put that up, put up the water tank at that school. All right. Yes. So she is one of the recipients of the backpack drive that I did, and I commit myself to that school to some bring some things up to standard at that school. That is a Grosvenor Basic School. I've worked with her I just met her a couple months ago, and we've been working together very well. And there are certain things that I'm doing for them, and I'm going to continue to commit to them. But Dr. Francis, I know we're out of time, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to really address a question that I'm about to ask. But before I even get to that, me want to show up. Me have some people here from Mandeville. You see, we always want to talk to me about Mandeville, and we spoke about it last week. But I want to show them something when we see this morning. Dr. Francis, just talk to you a minute. Talk to you a minute. So that's an early morning fire this morning at Mandeville. That's an early morning fire this morning at Mandeville at just besides Joseph Beef, right where the first stoplight was in Mandeville. It's called I don't remember the betting shop name. It's I don't remember the name of the betting shop, but that's an early morning fire this morning in Mandeville, guys. So you might want to check that out. I don't think anybody get injured or anything from it. Dr. Francis, let me just get to my question to you, Dr. Francis. What is the next move, or what's the future um, hold for call to action? I know you're very, very, very active getting things together. Tell us something about call to action, which will be my final question for the night. Where is call to action today?
Well, Dennis, the call to action is well on the way to recovery.
Dr. Francis, but before you even answer the question, which I should have done, just briefly tell whoever is not aware of call to action, just briefly say what call to action is.
Call to action is that group that was formed about a year ago in order to bring certain things about what is happening in Jamaica to light about the government, and to say that we need action for things like crime, corruption, and the promises to do certain things in there. And we need unity among the diaspora, and we need the energy. We need people to support what we are doing. And we went out and we protest throughout the United States, and we went to a meeting in Canada, and we're well on the way. We have done a lot of legal wranglings in the court for persons who we felt had done certain things that they should not have do, our leaders. So that's what the call to action, how we began. Now, unfortunately, a couple months ago, we had some issues with call to action, and we decided, and some people decided to part ways with call to action. However, we have a group of us who have remained resolute to the idea of call to action, and we plan to continue. Not plan, we have planned, and we will be starting very, very soon. We're hoping that the first tranche of that will be by this Sunday coming up. If it has any change, it will be there, but I'm positive that we're going to be in a position to do that in a very short time. So we look out for the notices, look out for what it is. A group of us will be coming on, and we'll be speaking about what we will be doing to assist Jamaica to be able to move forward in the future, and also to encourage diasporans to work with us, regardless of where you stand on the fence, on the side of the fence, so that we can work together. And this is absolutely not political. So I want people to understand that. We were able to do the conference that we did some time ago. We were able to do the marches, as I said before, and we were able to do things for Jamaicans that have never been done before. I don't know if you remember, for example, this policewoman who she was, sent to the United States to get assistance. Well, it was the call to action, specifically me, who was the person behind all of that. These are the things that we do. We don't have to show off when we do them, but these are things that we must do to stabilize our love for Jamaica and to actualize this by working with Jamaica in certain areas. We have suggestions. We'd like to create dialogue with the government, or whichever entity wants to have dialogue with us, so that we can maybe with the people in the deaf people, maybe it's the soldiers in the ex-soldiers in Jamaica, maybe it's any persons that need help in Jamaica, genuine help, because others are doing it, and we want to encourage you. So please feel free to reach out. In our case, you can reach us to at diaspora J7 diaspora J7 at gmail.com. Diaspora J7 diaspora J7 at gmail.com. All lowercase, or you can call 561-809-0855. But you'll have more of this, and we will certainly have Brother Sutherland bringing out all the information so that you can come and watch us when we launch. We should launch this weekend coming on our own stage, a call to action stage, and we'll be doing something different. It certainly will not be in your face. It certainly will be more questions, answers, and also sharing some of the good things about the diaspora and indeed Jamaica, and bringing up Grand Jamaica. Those are the basic issues we're going to be dealing with, Dennis.
Okay. So
Thank you.
you're saying call to action is alive and well
Alive and well.
in
Yes.
spite of the recent mishap.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. I must say thank you for that, Dr. Francis. Again, to my audience, Ivan and Gigo, Petra, Carol, and everybody that come on tonight to share space with us. If you have not yet subscribed, please, I'm asking you to like and share and subscribe to Sutherland TV. The intent and purpose, Anthony, I must say big up to you as well. The intent and purpose of my platform is to make a difference. It's not just to beat up on government and see what's going on. I am not against any bloggers that do what they do, and I'm not competing in any way, shape, or form with bloggers. I'm just saying I am doing something different. I want to remain relevant in this space so that I could utilize this platform to keep you updated on the things that we're doing. We're indeed making a big impact. I currently have sick people that I am helping through this platform. I financially assist some of them as well from my personal pocket, and we have our backpack that drive that we did, and we gonna continue it so that next year we could have a greater impact and in Jamaica. So those are the things that we're working on. So it is very important for you to like, share, and subscribe so that we can build this channel so that we can get people on board, not just to support, but to even mimic what we are doing and try to make a difference in the Jamaican space as well. Those are the things I want to hear and see people that is doing the things that I'm doing. And to me, that's a support. Yes, sir.
I just want to tell the people to like, share, and subscribe. It's very important so that people can get the message. And the one thing I want to say, if you want to join Dennis, if you want to join us, you can simply send to Dennis and your information to Dennis, and he will pass them on to me, for example. And already have gotten, we are creating, we want more people who have ideas. Get involved. We don't care who you want to vote for and all that sort of thing. It doesn't matter. But we want to hear from you. We want to have your opinions. We want to share your opinions. We want to tell you, and we will be advertising. We're not afraid. Go, for example, Dennis, I've said this, go on the Facebook page and you'll see the Jamaica Diaspora Crime Intervention and Prevention Task Force. Click on that, like it, share it, on it, and you'll be surprised to know you'll see a history of the things that we have done. And then you'll find out I'm on LinkedIn, I'm all that. I have what do you call it, a fan page for the radio station, in West Palm Beach, and so Super Jams Radio. So, ladies and gentlemen, there are so many opportunities that we can like, share, and then once they know that our numbers have grown and we have people who are really want to know how do we get to Jamaica, we're going to have some wonderful people, not only on Sutherland TV, coming out to share their thoughts and actions with us. And I'm telling you something, we'll also educate you and bring back things that you have never heard before. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for the opportunity, Dennis. You're a great guy, although I may say otherwise from time to time. We do have our little tidbits, but let me tell you something. He's doing a great job, especially with the children and for those persons in Jamaica. I even sent hi to Ronnie, my good friend, his brother. I haven't seen and heard him for a long time, but I tell you something. He and I will banter, and I will never forget that. And my good friend there, he's now in the United States. Mr. What's his name again? He used to be the head of the president of the Jamaica Teachers Association.
Mr. Owen Speed.
Yeah, Owen Speed. How
Owen
you doing, brother? And also, I don't know where the gentleman from the technical school went to it, but I mean, all good friend there, and so on. But we want to hear from you again, and we want to talk about Jamaica. And don't be afraid. It's our Jamaica, and nobody can take that away from us. We will never, never, ever give up on Jamaica. One love, one heart, one destiny. Thank you very much, Dennis.
With that being said, guys, have a good night, and it was a pleasure sharing space with you. And I'm looking forward to see you next week. One love. Blessings. All right.